These shears belong to your great-great-grandfather, Albert Nichols.
Who was he again?
My mother's father. He died 2 days after my mom turned 18.
That's very sad.
Yes, it was very sad for her. I never met him, but from what she told me, I think he would have been a really nice grandfather. Albert's father, Ira Nichols, was Union County's attorney. He died in 1914 when Albert was 29. The obituary states, "Deceased was a good husband, a kind father, a man of fine character and education." In reality, Ira had a problem with alcohol and died from cirrhosis of the liver. He wasn't always kind to his children, and he couldn't always make it to work. During those times, his neighbor, E.C. Erickson, would take over his caseload. Albert, on the other hand, quit school after 8th grade and then made a serious study of the clarinet. Remember E.C. Erickson, who would take over his father's caseload on occasion? E.C.'s daughter, Florence, my father's mother, remembers sitting on her front porch during the summer evenings and listening to him practice from his back porch. During the summer, Albert played clarinet in the Ringling Brothers Circus Band. He worked for a short time at the insane asylum in Yankton, South Dakota, and played for the inmates' dances. He left that job after an inmate nearly hit him with a heavy mop. My mom thinks this may have been when he chose to be a barber. On Saturday evenings, he played with others at the Elk Point City Park under the gazebo, and like his father, he and his friends would drink.
My mom told me with pride that her father served in World War I in the U.S. Navy Band and went to France. After she died, we sent for his military records. What we found out was a totally different story.
Albert was 25 when he enlisted in 1910, 4 years before World War I began. He reported to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as a musician. Given liberty, then failing to return to the ship on 7 reported occasions, the Navy declared him a deserter. Deserter was later corrected to bad conduct. He had unceremoniously fallen into his father's footsteps. Only for Albert, there was no one to take over his caseload. In fact, his ship, the USS South Carolina, left port for Europe without him. He never made it to France. We have no record of Albert's homecoming. If there was any public shame or embarrassment, the fact remains he returned, he became the proprietor of the hotel that serviced the railroad, and continued to play in the band and drink with his friends at the Elk Point City Park. A change came sometime before 1918. He dried out, not once, but twice.
Let's try that, Grandma.
When you stop drinking cold turkey, drying out can cause the shakes or hand tremors, sweating, hallucinations, and other problems. It can even cause death. After his second effort to quit, he realized he needed to abandon his friends in the band and everything else connected to drinking. In 1918, Alice Mae Eslick's family was concerned about the prospects of their daughter marrying Albert Nichols. They knew his shortcomings, and most likely those of his father. But once married, he never relapsed. Their first child, Mary, was born the following year. 6 years later, in 1925, my mom, Alice Jean, was born. He was 27 and a great father who loved his family. One year, on Christmas morning, he yelled, "Bye, Santa," and jingled sleigh bells. It was 1937 when Albert and his family moved to Hollywood, California. They moved in with his sister. My mom thinks he did this to give his girls more opportunities than they had available in Elk Point. Sunday was a special day for Albert. He would prepare sandwiches at home, then take the city bus down to Skid Row, passing them out to the drunks, thinking to himself,
"There, but for the grace of God, go I."
Albert died February 6, 1943, from a heart attack. He was 67 years old. He lived a good life and was loved by everyone who knew him.
Albert Hewetson is buried in Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale, California.
I admire his compassion. Some people might be judgmental if they have had the same problem, but he chose to show compassion.
I like that he chose to stop even though it was hard.